So, Ed, in your opinion, how can somatic dysfunction play a role in the overall health or illness of a given individual?
That's a good question, because what I see is somatic dysfunction can have multiple effects. If it impacts the sympathetic system and the vasomotor system, it may impair circulation to a tissue. It may affect the sympathetic motor supply to a tissue and affect sympathetic function. Somatic dysfunction, if it comes from the cranial sacral areas, it may adversely impact the parasympathetic system, and it may either stimulate it or inhibit it. Somatic dysfunction can put tension on nerves. It has been shown that can affect the flow of trophins to the end organ, which are essential for its health, and they're made up of growth factors and neurotransmitters, etc. And the only way those substances can get to that end organ is because they're produced in the nucleus of the nerve. They course down the axon in the nerve, and musculoskeletal dysfunction can impair that. Musculoskeletal dysfunction can also impair rib cage and thoracic mechanics, and the rib cage expanding and contracting, that's the pump for ventilation, for venous and lymphatic circulation. So a little bit of somatic dysfunction, depending on what areas of the body, it could affect any one of those functions we talked about, all of them, or in any possible combination. Then I see that as changing, making the patient more susceptible to any number of infectious diseases, or lower their resistance to their immune system to fight these conditions off. And so then that explains why then the patient, it sets the ground for that patient to become diseased and dysfunctional. So my job then is to remove those hindrances with manipulation, to reverse that process, enable those functions to try to, as many as possible, go back to normal function.